Hello YouTube fans, welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on my video today. I'm Darlene and I'm about to start your reading. Let me get my business out of the way and I'll be shuffling these cards for you. And I know you can't see them all as I put them down, but I typically put them face down and then I'll look at them about halfway through the reading. So let me just start shuffling here. I value your time very much. I know we're all busy people, so thank you for clicking on my video today. And do check back. I try to post, that one just flew out, videos regularly, and I never knew who I'm going to be bringing through. Could be your deceased loved one. So please check back. And if you would, hit that like button. You know the drill. If you watch many YouTube videos, that helps our channels to grow. And I'm just getting started here on YouTube, so that really would make a difference. Okay, they're saying the deck is ready. But more importantly, if you interact with a video at all here, well, anywhere on YouTube, it tells the algorithm that this is interesting content. Let's show it to more people, which means these messages are more likely to get to the families that they're meant for. And this is such a narrow message anyway that really does help. So thank you in advance for doing all that. And let me see. Oh, really? Okay. Usually I don't pull that many cards, but we'll just keep going because they're saying to do that. All right, thank you. And I don't usually look at the cards until I deliver the initial message, so we don't know what's gonna come out. We'll just have to find out together. Okay, today I've got a gentleman coming through. He wasn't a happy person in life. He was... Mostly people thought of him as just a grumpy old man, a grumpy man. And then he got older and then he became a grumpy old man. But he was just not an easy person to be around. He was... I started to say self-centered, but they're correcting me. That's not exactly how it was. Yes, it certainly appeared that way. And in one sense it was, but he was very self-absorbed in his own pain and discomfort with life. He, you know, that just is often what makes somebody miserable in the world we live in, and that certainly was the case for him. He couldn't find happiness or lasting happiness, and the one thing that brought him peace, or where he, let me reach it, they're correcting me, or he's correcting me. The one place he found some peace is when he went fishing. So he was an avid fisherman, but it wasn't about the fish. And if you talk to avid fishermen, most of them will tell you the truth of it is, they're really there for the peace and the quiet and the nature and all that, and it's, you know, the fish are a bonus, but or at least the fishermen that I've known in my life have said that to be the case. Oh, sorry, I just bumped my mic. I hope that didn't come through in the sound. So he's just showing me that picture of him on his little, we call him a John boat here in the South, but you know, a small aluminum-ish fishing boat kind of thing, out on the lake fishing. And he's not telling me anything about that other than just showing me him sitting in the boat. I'm not even sure he had a fishing pole on the water half the time, just being there on the water alone, which apparently was what he preferred. He didn't do well with people. He just didn't do well being around people. He was not a social type. He didn't have particularly good social graces. And I think a lot of people, to be honest, thought of him, and he's giving me the permission to say that, or telling me, yeah, you can say it, it's the truth. I was mean. And I don't say that lightly. Oop, I did it again, sorry. I don't say that lightly. I don't like to talk ill of the dead, but you know, it's what he's saying to me is that I was just a mean person in life. People didn't get along with me. Now, he's coming through today to talk to his daughter. And what he's showing me is a couple of things. I think that the mother, his wife, left early on in life. I think she just said, this is not working, I'm leaving, whatever. I'm not being given the details of that. I'm just seeing him, and you, the viewer, this message is targeted or given for you, the daughter. And if there were other siblings, I'm not being shown that. I'm just being, the message today is about your relationship with this man I'm bringing through. So he's acknowledging that he could have done a lot better to you, with you, for you even. He's just saying he knows he was cruel to you. And he's using that word, cruel. And he's showing me an argument that between the two of you where he I think, had some vices. And one of those vices was I think he was okay, slow it down, please, Spirit, slow it down. Because I'm getting several messages and I'm trying to capture them all. He was addicted to toxic energy, okay? Toxicity, toxic energy. And so he became toxic. And that came from somewhere back in his past. I'm not sure where that was. He's not showing me that specifically. But somewhere back there, something happened and he became this grumpy, mean person, essentially. And again, I don't say that lightly. I don't like to talk that way about people, but it is necessary to the story I'm conveying, to the message. So the wife left, and he got even more bitter, more angry at life. And you, the daughter, were left to just kind of survive the best you could in this environment. And I think you took a low profile. As you know, I came from, and not to get into all my story, but I came from an abusive household. So for me, I understand if you try to be as quiet and unseen as possible, because when you're seen is when things happen bad. So I understand that dynamic, how that can happen. I'm sorry, there was a message coming across my phone there that my family, my granddaughter had a bad car wreck yesterday, and it totaled her car, and it scared all of us to death. But she's fine. She's fine. Thank goodness for modern safety features. But that was a message from my son about it. Anyway, thankfully, thank you. She was fine. So back to this message. Pardon me. You internalized. You tried to keep a low profile. You tried to stay quiet so you didn't rile him and poke the bear, so to speak. But you internalized the pain that you were feeling and the loneliness. I think you were very lonely. You didn't really have a parent. You didn't have anybody to support you and nurture you like you needed. And he's acknowledging that, by the way. And you grew up lonely. But you internalized that, and it became, for you, it manifested in becoming heavier weight-wise. And you started putting on more and more weight. So back to the argument that he was showing me was, there came a point where you were name-calling with each other. There was an argument about Lord knows what. That's not important to the message. And maybe you called him something cruel. I don't know. He says it doesn't matter, but maybe you called him a mean old drunk or something. But he called you a fat cow. That's the message. He's called you a cow. He said something about you being a fat person and a cow. And it's hard for me to even say that. It sounds so cruel. I can't believe anybody would actually say that to somebody, but something like that happened. And it cut you to the quick. It cut you so deep that you never really forgave him for that. And that's why he's coming through, and that's what he's wanting this message to focus on, is how sorry he is for doing that, for saying that, for not, this is the sad truth is when they get on the other side, they get to see all those things that they didn't, or all of us get over there on the other side. That's when we have that sort of, that reckoning, that life review, and we see all the things that we didn't do well or right, or people we treated badly, and or could have done, woulda, coulda, shoulda done differently. And so he's really regretting how he was with you and how he treated you and how he was never there for you. Excuse me. I'm just listening. If there's anything else about that? And he sees that you had to become strong. That he's not saying it's a silver lining. He wants to be clear about that. But you did become stronger as a product of what you had to go through living with him and in that environment. You became stronger, and he's happy for you that you became stronger, and that now. And I'm not sure what. Let me see if I can pull this energy in. Okay, I'm seeing kind of, it's faint, and I want to pull the scene in, and they're telling me pull the cards over and it will give me more information. So I'm going to go ahead and, because I don't, like I said, I don't typically turn the cards over until I get that initial message. So let me see what this adds to the story. Excuse me. Must be time for me to take my allergy medicine. Okay, let me see here. And I know y'all can't see most of the cards, but I'll hold some of them up. You can maybe see some of them anyway. All right, bear with me just a minute, please, as I tune into this energy here. And for those of you that don't know, I do not always read the cards with the traditional messages like you might get from a love reading, for example. Because of the context, the kind of reading that this is, they mean a little something different to me sometimes, or most of the time, whatever. He's just this is just saying you grew up in a toxic environment. He knows he was toxic. You grew up in this toxic environment. Now, one thing that they're pointing out here, excuse me. Okay, this is a whole other sidebar. If you can see in this card, these people are chained. They have chains around them. And this is often the card of, well, it can be a lot of things. It can be addictions, it can be obsessions, but it's also about restriction. And so the message I'm getting loud and clear here is it was more about the energy and the lack of support and the toxic energy and angriness that you grew up in that holds you back. Now I'm talking to you, the viewer, the daughter, that holds you back, that restricts you. And this is a separate message Spirit is bringing through. This is not from your father. This is from Spirit. That you can and you have the power to set yourself free. Okay, only you can do this. Spirit can lay that red carpet out all day long, but only you can take this chain off of your neck and walk away from it. And so that's just a whole sidebar message, but an important one. They're acknowledging that you lost passion for life, that at one point I get the feeling that you you had an epiphany. And it's interesting because I had one of these about my father too growing up. I had this epiphany as an adult about my dysfunctional childhood. And I realized one day that I was angry at my kids, and I had this aha moment where, oh my God, I'm turning into my parent, my father. And it changed everything. It was a pivotal moment in my life where I realized, oh, hell no, that is not happening. And I started doing some things to help myself adjust better and mentally and be more patient. That's actually what got me into meditation 35 years ago, whatever. So they're acknowledging that, or he is actually acknowledging that apparently you had faced a similar moment, let me just put it like that, that you kind of realized at some point that you had the tendency to go there, but you chose not to. You chose a higher road. He's telling me she chose a higher road than I did. She was stronger, and he's saying you were stronger than he was. You were able to pull yourself out of that emotional quicksand is what's coming to me. Yeah, he's saying you had other options. He had options too, but he just didn't choose the right options that were healthy. So he's acknowledging and acknowledging you for making better choices than he did. Yeah, he knows it was a heavy burden. To this day, he's saying, to this day, she carries this as a heavy burden. But again, Spirit then is bringing me back to this. But it is a choice to carry that or to let it go. And so I feel like if you haven't been, let me see what else is. Yeah, this is a message for you and where you are. I feel like you are mentally struggling. And this could have already happened. This could be right in the middle of it, or this could be something that's coming up for you. But I feel like we're kind of in the middle of it. The energy of it feels like you're kind of sitting in it, but you're at the edge of breaking out of this depressive energy. Because, and I feel like it's affecting so many parts of your life. You know, this is just, it's a heavy burden to carry around. This is the wounded warrior carrying around all those heavy burdens for all this time. It's affecting other parts of your life. It's affecting your practical day-to-day life. It's affecting your money, for example, your day-to-day happiness. And so Spirit is bringing, the reason he came through today was to help you realize you've got to snap out of it, that you have divine support. It's an angel here. You have support from the divine, and the divine has connected. For example, I'm bringing him through. They're bringing him to me. You know, it's a team effort here to get this message to you that it's time for you to move on and put that ugliness, can we call it that, behind you. You've been juggling this for a while, this internal, it just feels like, and I don't really have the quintessential card of depression here on the table, but it certainly feels like that. I feel a heavy heart depression here. And I feel like you can't, well, two messages here. Starts, I feel like you can't even feel love in your life. It's like, or this again could be past tense. Maybe you were at that point where you couldn't feel, you couldn't take it in. That's the best way I can say that. You just couldn't take it in. Even if somebody was kind to you, you appreciated it. You recognized it, but you couldn't really take it in a healthy way. There was a lot of disappointment because of that. And so what Spirit's telling you is, but it's a choice. But it's a choice. The Lover's card was originally called the Choice. So this message to me seems like it's trying to tell you you're at a crossroads in your life. And again, this could have just happened. You could be at the precipice of this. I feel like you're kind of in the middle of it now, where you're struggling mentally, and you're realizing, you're having the realization that this is really affecting you in more ways than you are even aware of, I think. And they're telling me, oh, you have a friend who has alluded to this with you. Maybe they haven't come out and told you that you need to get therapy, but they've alluded to it. And that's the message I'm feeling for you today. No. Okay, thank you. For those of us who grew up in a dysfunctional and abusive household, and I'm not saying he ever hit you or did anything physically abusive, but I guess that could have happened, but that's not what I'm picking up here. But still, when somebody calls you names and belittles you and you know, you don't get the healthy emotional support growing up, it affects you deeply. And you have no confidence, and you just don't have the same tools. I mean, that's just how I see it. And so you have to go out there and get those tools and put them in your toolbox. You have to be proactive to go out there and find something that pivots you to a better place emotionally, mentally. For me, I started meditating. I had found a spiritual group that I related to, and that became my spiritual path, and that was my way out. That's what changed things for me. So you've got to find something. Now, Spirit is sending you something. Spirit is sending an opportunity to you. Spirit is sending you an opportunity. Let me see what's underneath this. Okay? And they're telling me, just one second here. Let me see what these other cards are. Okay. All right. They're sending you an opportunity. Now, this could be a job, money. It could be, well, there's a couple of different layers of messages here I'm getting. This card is the card of the single, independent woman. She's single. She takes care of herself. She makes good money. She doesn't need anybody, but, you know, she's got everything she needs. She's happy and good on her own. The King of Wands, now this could be, in my decks, I typically see the kings and queens as actual physical people. So I feel like maybe part of this opportunity is that there's someone coming into your life. Now, I don't know, I'm not seeing romance cards here. Could be that, but that's not what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling like this is a man. So they're talking, one second. Okay. For some of you, this could be a therapist that's going to help you. For some of you, this could be a friend who's going to help you and guide you into some tool that's going to help you get out of this negative energy and negative mindset and frame of mind, because you're stuck in it. You're stuck in this. This is a card of remorse and regret. And I feel like that you're stuck there carrying this heavy burden. But this is the 10 of Wands, but you're at the end of this journey. And I better put my glasses on, because I think I'm 90%. Yeah, that's 10. You're at the end of this journey. The 10s are at the end in tarot. So you're at the end of carrying all that, yeah. And there's something good coming towards you. You know, again, the Hierophant is like the Pope, a spiritual guru, a leader. So it may well be that what they're sending, and right underneath that is the Sun, the happiest card in the deck, followed by the Fool, a brand new beginning. But this Fool has to take a leap off of this cliff. And you notice he's not looking down. He's not looking over saying, oh my gosh, it's a long way down. I don't know if I want to do that. He's not second guessing. He's looking up at the sky. He's looking up at the, where is it? Wait, let me find. He's looking up at the sun, or in this case, I guess it's over here. He's looking up at the sun. He's just thinking about what a wonderful new adventure this is going to be for him. He's optimistic. sometimes a little foolhardy, but nevertheless optimistic and excited about his new journey. And so that's what I think this message that they want to bring forward to you today is there is something coming. They're sending you an opportunity. Spirit is sending you a new opportunity. And this may be in the form of like I said, it could be a new friend, it could be a therapist, it could be a spiritual path. And for some of you, I'm picking up, or somebody out there, I'm picking up that that's what this is. This is a spiritual path, and it could be that you meet someone like this man who introduces you to this spiritual path or something like that. Could even be as simple as you watching videos, I don't know, Dalai Lama or somebody on video and connecting with that message that helps bring you up out of this this negative place. But I'm very encouraged for you, and they're very they're wanting to. This message is here because they're wanting to encourage you that your father sees how depressed you are. He's very remorseful of how he treated you, and they do know that when they get on the other side, as I mentioned earlier. He wants you to know, he said, I know she doesn't want me there, but I want her to know that I'm going to check on her, and I am going to. I'm going to do in death what I did not do in life. In other words, he's going to look out for you. He's going to protect you. And you may even be seeing signs. He's telling me okay. You kept a photo of his. It was a photo of him on the water fishing. And it means something special to you. I don't know if it was maybe you, I don't know, you could have gone fishing with him that day. It could have been a picture of both of you, but I'm just seeing a boat out on the water, and he's in it. His back's to me, but it's something special. So I don't know if that is a picture you kept of him when he was experiencing happier times, or if it was a special memory or a place that you have good memories, but it's something like that you kept of his that you have. And I don't think you kept much else but that. And he's saying okay, you know, angels and loved ones on the other side have a lot of different ways that they communicate with us once they're gone. And one of the more common ways is with feathers. Now, what he's saying to me, because I see bird feathers, birds are a big thing for me. But he's saying something, you know, when you, and I'm not a big fisherman, but I did take my kids fishing when I was young, and I fished when I was young. But he's showing me a fishing lure, and a fishing lure that has feathers on it, like a teeny tiny little small feathers. So you may find some of those little tiny small feathers, and you may think to yourself, where did that come from? It's inside my house, and it's not even big enough to be a bird feather. What is that? You know, it may be something as simple as that. Could be an actual fishing lure, but something about those feathers. And so he's saying that he wants you to know that that's him communicating. That's him saying, I'm here now, even though I wasn't there for you in life, that I'm here now watching over you and looking out for you. Okay, is there anything else? Oh, he's saying, I love you. He said, I know you don't believe it, and I didn't act like it in life, but I do love you. It's gonna make me cry. Okay. All right. They're pulling their energy, or he's pulling his energy back. When I say they, I mean my spirit guides and angels. So that's the message for today. I hope this message does reach you and you find some comfort in that. And for those of you who stayed to the end, thank you so very much again. I value your time. Thanks for joining me, and stay tuned. I'm trying to upload more regularly now, every week at least, sometimes twice a week. And I might be reading for you and your deceased loved one. I never know who Spirit's going to bring through. I just show up. So stay tuned for more readings. Thank you all for being here again, and I wish you all many, many blessings. Take care. Bye-bye.